Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Accomplishment Coaching is proud to present the following fine programming. Accomplishment Coaching, where coaches lead and leaders coach. AccomplishmentCoaching.com.
Welcome to WS Radio's Business Spotlight Show.
Thanks for listening in. I'm Wade Taylor, and on this episode, we're shining our spotlight on the world of artificial intelligence. And to help me understand, as well as all of us, is Marty Beard, who is the co-founder and CEO of Always AI, whom you can find online at alwaysai.co, alwaysai.co. And within that broad world of artificial intelligence, they have a strong focus on computer vision and the applications thereof. And so, Marty, I appreciate you in the last segment giving us a bit of an overview about the world of computer vision. Now let's get into nuts and bolts. Let's get into where the rubber meets the road, the real-world applications of computer vision. So as we look at common use cases, as well as the more transformative use cases of computer vision, let's start the discussion in the world of robotics, which I know everybody's interested in.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in robotics and vision for sure. I'll give you a couple of examples that everybody could probably relate to. So we're seeing, and we've worked on this actually with Qualcomm as a partner, on a robot that would notice that a person has fallen. So you can imagine, for example, elder care scenario where somebody has fallen and it's very obvious that it wasn't kind of a quote, a natural thing. It was an unnatural fall. And the robot notices that and then fires off a message immediately to a caregiver. So somebody can go help out that person, right? So this is something that's actually starting to be implemented quite widely in elder care scenarios and more in healthcare scenarios. That's a very practical, not super expensive, very useful implementation of computer vision. There are others in robotics. Just really quickly, you could have a robot, and again, we're working with a robotics drone manufacturer that goes along shorelines, trying to keep track of shorelines, make sure that they're unblocked, or are there any obstacles in the way, or is there anything that needs to be taken care of along that shoreline? And the robot can do that very easily, very accurately, and get to places that maybe a human couldn't get to as quickly or as easily.
Yeah, and as you're describing these uses of robots, we do need to dispel the myth. When we're talking about robots, we're not necessarily talking about C-3PO. It isn't necessarily a humanoid thing.
No, these are to a geeky term. Some of these are autonomous mobile robots. They could be quite small, but they're able to move, they're able to see, they're able to act, and it's really AI and computer vision in particular that's allowing them to do more for us.
Yeah, and I would imagine that a powerful tool that we're going to be appreciating more and more is that combination: AI, computer vision, and a airborne drone.
Correct. Yeah, we've seen it, all of us, during the fire season. We saw how drones were able to go in and keep track of what was going on in a much safer way than a human could. So we're seeing all kinds of examples of, to the mundane. There's a floor cleaner, and it's going along autonomously cleaning the floors and trying to get around obstacles so it can do its job.
Right, and so that is a good segue into another broad area of application is the world of retail.
Yeah, retail, which obviously has been dramatically impacted in today's world. But retail is all about, do I have my products? Am I serving my customers as well as I can? Do I have my products displayed as effectively as I can? And a camera can help you understand, okay, who's coming in or coming by my store or coming near my my service? What do I know? What can I learn about my actual clientele? And what can I learn about what they're actually interacting with and where and how? And so that helps you kind of optimize how you present your services, where you put your goods and services. And this has had a dramatic impact on retail just in general.
Yeah,
And so I think that's another interesting area.
yeah, managing floor traffic, and also I'm sure it even can tell what did they stop on, what were they looking at, how much time
Exactly.
did they spend there, and for a retailer, isn't that invaluable?
I mean, that could be the difference between I'm making money and growing and I'm not, but I don't understand why not.
Exactly.
So yeah, very, very impactful.
Yeah, just the fact that they've got end caps means is just a representation of that retailers understand product
Yeah,
positioning is critical. Well, as the
right.
time races by, we've got about 4 minutes left, and let's broaden that out. You know, we're talking about, say, a retail
Sure.
establishment, but that establishment exists within a community, within a
Yeah,
city, and
yeah.
AI is moving us into, as I understand, smart cities.
Yeah, oh yeah. So again, computer vision in smart cities, it's somewhat similar to retail where you want to understand, for example, who's coming into the city? What do I know about my citizens? Where are they going? What stores? What establishments? What are they doing? Where's parking the worst? How can I help that? So it's increasing the intelligence. We worked with one city up in Northern California that wanted to look at trail usage, and they were getting a lot of complaints of, hey, there's too many bikes on the trail, or too many this, too many that, and they didn't really have a sense of what was actually happening. So you put a couple of cameras, you put some deep learning computer vision capability on the cameras, and voila, now who's using what time of day, et cetera. So it's really starting to get just smarter about what people are actually, what services are they actually leveraging in the city, and how can the city provide better services?
Right. And we've got about 2 minutes left. And, I
Sure.
want you to touch upon security and traffic, but take a moment to reassure me and everybody around
Yeah,
that this
yeah,
world is going to be less big brother and more benevolent,
yeah.
beneficial.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to be the classic tech exec and say, oh, don't worry about any of that stuff. I mean, it's real, right? It's real. And we need to be really mindful that we're not violating privacy. We're not unwillingly providing information about people, et cetera. And that gets a lot of press, and it should. It should. So we can make sure that as an industry, we're smart about how we're applying this stuff. But to be honest with you, what we've seen is a much broader, like horizontal implementation of these technologies across agriculture and recycling. And as we talked about, how drones can help us, vision assistance, railroad monitoring, healthcare, on and on. So there's a lot of areas where this is really, really useful to just help us, help our lives be a little bit more productive.
Yeah. Well, with a minute left, as somebody in metropolitan California, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to assistance with traffic.
Yeah, and I think there's something like 1 billion traffic spaces in the U.S. that take up something like 18 to 20% of our total space. It's like a huge impact on our world. Geez, it would be nice if we could make that a lot more efficient, and we could get a lot more knowledge about where you could actually park, and just try to make that more efficient. Similar to people talking about autonomous driving, which again is a computer vision phenomena, and that could also help us reduce traffic as well. That's a longer term phenomena, but clearly something heading our way.
Yeah, well, this time races by, so we've just scratched the surface. But I encourage everybody, again, open up a browser window, go to alwaysai.co, and explore everything that Marty and his amazing team are doing to benefit all of us in those worlds of robotics, retail, smart city, security, traffic, and transportation. We are moving into a great new world. So back again next time with more great information here on the Business Spotlight Show, powered by WSRadio.com. We are the worldwide leader in Internet talk.
Is your message too generic to truly move your audience? Your brand needs to have impact. It should pack a punch. That's where we come in. We are punchy. Your branding has to make you stand out from your competition. It needs to attract, empower, and engage your audience. Punchy powers all that through branding, UI and UX, design, and imagery. Come feel our impact at www.punchy.design.
If you heard that sound, you probably are eligible for insurance from Navy Mutual, insuring the men and women of the Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard. Here's what one policyholder, retired Navy Commander Thomas Dade, had to say.
Navy Mutual is the best insurance decision I ever made. I wish you had a savings plan available that earned the rates my Navy Mutual insurance has been earning.
Navy Mutual Aid Association, started by military members in 1879, serves active, reserve, and retired military today. Navy Mutual honors our military by providing them affordable life insurance with the features they need without fine print, sales fees, or military service restrictions. Value, integrity, trust, and stability are the cornerstones on which our commitment to you and your loved ones are built. Call Navy Mutual at 1-800-628-6011 or NavyMutual.org for your personal life insurance plan consultation. 1-800-628-6011 or NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
One person has the power to change the world, impact millions of lives, and leave a legacy for lifetimes to come. That person is you. In the New York Times bestseller, What is Your What?, Steve Olsher, award-winning author and founder of the Reinvention Workshop, reveals his proven process that has helped thousands of men and women discover, share, and monetize the one thing they were born to do. Grab your free copy now at www.whatisyourwhat.com/free. That's www.whatisyourwhat.com/free.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McAuliffe brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcAuliffe.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McAuliffe. ChristopherMcAuliffe.com.